Hi, my name is Amy. Thank you very much for watching, and let's make some bad financial decisions together. This is for entertainment purposes only, so if you're entertained, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So today I'd like to talk to you about ETH. I feel like I've been talking about it, but not really going over it. So now's the time. So this is the income ETF that Roundhill has that pays weekly and is based off of Ethereum. And so it is a synthetic cover call strategy, and they use the EETH ticker as their underlying. So I guess the first thing that we should be doing is talking about why we would even want to be looking into Ethereum based ETFs. And even though Ethereum is the second largest crypto, altcoins are defined as anything besides Bitcoin. So this is the largest altcoin. And traditionally, after Bitcoin has its all-time highs, there is an altcoin boom. So we recently had a Bitcoin boom. So I would assume in the next few weeks that there will be some kind of an altcoin season, but I don't control the weather. So if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Plus, Ethereum has more useful real world applications than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is very expensive to put things on the blockchain, but Ethereum, it's like it has more adoption and more actual use case to it. And because this is an income strategy, it does not necessarily need to make more money. Like the underlying doesn't have to go up as much as Bitcoin, as long as the implied volatility is higher than Bitcoin and it stays within its Bollinger Band. Then Ethereum could be a respectable alternative to your Bitcoin holdings that you have. So I was looking at the prospectus, and it's just a simple synthetic call ETF that Roundhill does. It's out of the money cover calls that expire 1 month or less. And so they probably just do it on a cadence. And I mean, it's paying a 54% yield in this environment. So it's doing pretty good. But also, it's not a hedge against Bitcoin. They do generally follow the same direction in the market. It's just that it diversifies you out. So just put that out there. And since it's a value or an investing strategy, I just did total returns with no time range. And from the beginning of time in September 2024, $10,000 in ETH would have been $9,800. So you would actually have lost money if you had invested in when it first came out. And then for YBTC, which is what I was comparing it to, you would have $16,742. So that is quite a big of a difference. But if you cherry pick the date, like say from May 1st, because we know that April it really dipped, the market totally dipped, you would have $13,000 in ETH and $12,000 in YBTC. So as long as the market is doing well and both of these underlyings are going up, then ETH actually has a healthy amount of volatility, and you can see it. I just found the unusual whales the other day, but the realized volatility that they have, you can see that for ETH, it has had like a 69 IV, a 70, 80% IV, and pretty high 70 to 80% IV. But if you go to IBIT, which some of these don't actually follow the Bitcoin exactly, but it's only has like a 54% volatility versus Ethereum. So when the stock rises and the volatility is higher, then your premium will also be higher than if you were in a non-leveraged, like regular ETF. So just putting that in there. And so I also wanted to be able to compare on YieldMight. So to get to this screen, you click on Advanced and you go to Compare Fields. And I chose alphabetical in the filter. And so we have YETH and we have YBTC. And over the last few months, well, this last distribution, you would have had $124.84. Sorry for that, saying that like that. And then, sorry, I'm reading this wrong. This $10,000 monthly distribution would be $540 from Round Hill and $462 for YBTC. So, like, it has a good amount of volatility, and it's paying quite a large amount, because if you look on the website before I do any filters, ETH is over here and YBTC is last. So it's been consistent. The distribution amount has gotten less because it just changed to weeklies, and when you do it weekly, the funds have to keep more back so that they can smooth out the distributions in the future. But the close price has gone way down since January, but I think it's stabilized a little bit now in this roaring stock market that we have, this bull run. So what if I just filtered this on just regular crypto? So we have YETH, MST, and YBTC, so basically all the three big players. LFGY is interesting because it's businesses that are utilizing blockchain. And then XBTY and Blocks are both Bitcoin, I believe. And then COIW is a Round Hill investment. And BCCC is an interesting play. Well, we'll just put it like that. And then we have YBit, Maro, Coney. Yeah, so is Beat the one that's half Ethereum, this is half Ethereum and half Bitcoin. So if you can't decide which one you want to invest in, you can do one of these combination ETFs that have both, and so the distribution amount and the close price are more smoothed out. But what do you all think about ETH and Ethereum? Because I'm not personally going to invest in this in my taxable brokerage account, but I think it's an interesting fund, and if you want exposure to Bitcoin, crypto that's not Bitcoin, branch out, I would recommend something like a SEPI or an LFGY that's a basket of companies that are involved with crypto, because the problem that all of these altcoins were having during the pandemic is that they were trying to search for use cases where they're actually useful and it's meant to be there, and it's not just like a stretch to use it because it's the buzzword. So I do think that ETH is interesting though. And I was so used to it being in crush for such a long time, I was like, is this still doing the wrong date? But if you look at the latest distribution, it is from the 22nd. So we're going to be good. So today in Financial Philharmonics, we have Do Something Besides Regret. It's a summer pop ballad, and it's really just about DCAing and investing and just living your life with no regrets. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.